changing lives.
Good evening and welcome to another exciting episode of Real Talk here in the studios of Hope TV Ghana. My name is Evie, and this Wednesday we are coming your way with yet another interesting story on Real Talk. Remember, we are live on Facebook and YouTube, Hope TV Ghana. You can join the conversation live by leaving your comments under the comment section, and I will do well to read some of your comments as we go into our story of discussion. You know, do you have a friend who is probably shy? And when I talk of shy, I mean extreme shyness. Or perhaps that could be you, you know, where maintaining relationships are difficult, where interacting with people is considered such a difficult task, or perhaps just making new friends is very, very daunting for you. Some people just think, oh, shyness is just, I mean, it's one of those things. It's not so extraordinary. You don't have to fight with it. But then with this story that came, I realized it could be a phobia, and actually it's called social phobia. So that is the extreme form of shyness where probably therapy or counseling could be suggested as a way of healing yourself. And I found it very, very interesting. And this young man has sent his story to us, hoping that we will have a conversation and give him some solutions. And that is what we do on this show, Real Talk. So on that note, I'm going to ask that if you have a story that you want us to discuss, kindly send it to us on our WhatsApp number, or you can send it to us even via our Facebook page. Just send us the topic. You don't need to necessarily write a full story. You can let us know what the problem is, and we will go ahead, get our writers on board to write your story for you. And most importantly, we will find you the right people to have the right conversation, as we do here on Real Talk. And that is what we have done today. But before I go in and introduce my guests to you, I just want to ask, do you want to be an angel of hope? You know, you can also be an angel of hope by dialing *928*34*104# and follow the prompts. You can also send your donation to Hope Channel at 0249-193-083, and you automatically become an angel of hope. On that note, I'm going to go ahead and introduce my guest to you. He is going to help me have a very interesting conversation. He's going to help me come up with solutions for this young man on the story that we have entitled, I Am So Shy I Can't Talk to a Lady. That should tell you how serious this is. In the studio today is Mr. Oswald A.J. Boateng. He's not a stranger on this show. He's been here before. Oswald, how are you doing?
I'm good, Vivi. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How's the family?
By grace, they are well.
You're fine. Yeah. And work?
We are managing. We can't
That's right. I know, right? It's good. Yeah. We thank God.
It's part of the whole system.
Yeah. I mean, they say if you don't work, what you don't eat.
No, you know, good job.
Yeah, so we have to, you know. But also looking at this story that has come that I want us to discuss. But before, let me read it so that our guests or our viewers will also have an idea what we are talking about, so that I can take your opinion on it.
All right.
Yes.
No problem.
So it says, Dear Real Talk, I am painfully shy. I am a painfully shy gentleman. I find it extremely difficult to mingle, make new friends, and the worst of all is to talk to a lady. I can't even tell a lady I like her, not to talk of propose a relationship. I have always been like this. My mother says I was a very quiet child, and she even worried I had delayed speech when I was growing up until all medical tests came back okay. All my friends are friends I made when I was very young. The issue is becoming a huge problem because I am growing and don't even have a girlfriend to call my own. Some neighbors and colleagues are beginning to spread rumors that I am gay, but I am not. I just can't muster up the courage to speak to a lady I find beautiful. I will either start stammering or can't form a sentence. The very few times I have tried, the ladies walked away, probably thinking I'm an idiot. I have gone to the extent of asking friends to talk to ladies on my behalf. You know what they call betweener. But they ended up in a relationship with the ladies themselves. I am 35 years old and need to settle down if I want a family of my own. It's not as if I'm bad looking. I'm handsome and have a good job, a car, and renting an apartment. I am ready for marriage, but I can't find a woman because of this shyness. What do I do? How do I overcome this challenge? Please help me. Oswald, would you be considered a shy person?
Myself?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't think so too.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But what's your take on this story? What's going on?
You know, probably there's a fundamental problem that wasn't checked
Okay.
at a very early stage, and it's developed to a point where changing it becomes a bit difficult. You know, when a tree is growing and you want to change the shape or do anything, it's easier to do it than when it is fully grown.
Okay, yeah.
So probably this was a phenomenon could have been handled, or we could have helped him change before he got to this age of 35. So, but there is hope, you know. There's a chance we're moving. So there can still be solutions to it. So I think there's a fundamental problem that probably wasn't checked in the beginning, and he has grown with it, and it is now hunting him.
Yeah.
So something that could have been corrected that wasn't done, and then now is becoming a major challenge.
Yeah.
I think that's what is happening around here.
I know you are very passionate about the youth, especially the ones in the church. Have you encountered any youth or any young person struggling with this, and how probably it has been relegated to the background as, oh, we do on Pekasa, you know, typically, oh, this boy is a quiet boy, he doesn't like talking. Oh, but as for his sister, she can talk for the whole world, you know that thing.
It's there. It's there. You find a lot of young people who are, we say, oh, these people are introverts.
Yes.
When they are this,
Yeah.
but you know, you find them, and sometimes it's difficult to get them to mingle with all the others.
True.
So you need to pay particular attention to them because they are the type of people who keep a lot of things. So even when they are in a situation where they need assistance, you would not know. You assume that because they are naturally quiet, nothing is going on with them. They are okay.
Right.
But you know, those who talk, sometimes as soon as there's something wrong, you know that, oh, hey, no, there's something wrong here.
Yeah,
so there are a lot of young people like that.
Right.
Yeah.
In your opinion, what do you think are some of the causes from extreme shyness? Like you said, you mentioned that it was mental. Is it an issue of growing up in a family where you can't question? You know that Africa will, hey, you don't talk back to an old person and sit down, and a child is supposed to be seen, not to be heard. You know, all those things. Do you think that could be a cause, or what are some of the causes?
It's a major cause. Major cause. Parenting styles. You know, and some parents set too high standards. And then once these young people are not able to meet those standards, they feel they are not loved enough, they are not recognized enough, they are not good enough, so they coil into their shell.
Right.
That is one. And then you have inconsistency in parenting.
Okay.
So these young people get confused.
Okay.
So because they are inconsistent in the sense that today he does one thing, he's shut down, or he's spoken to in a very harsh manner. Another day he does another thing opposite what he did that he was shut down, thinking that that's better.
Right.
It comes again. So it's like, wow, so what do I do?
Right.
I do not know what is right and what is wrong now. To be safe, let me be in my corner. So they call back. That is also there. And then sometimes people don't have enough time for their children. Okay. So there are homes where there's no conversation. It's like, Daddy, Mommy, I need this, take it.
Right.
There's no conversation. So the child grows up without, that kind of communication. So the child is always kind of glued to a gadget or something.
Right.
So sometimes this delayed speech that we're talking about, sometimes people have it not because of anything. The only thing they communicate with is the television. And that child, it can talk back. So that person cannot communicate.
Right.
So now when it comes to the real world, for them to communicate, then it becomes a problem. Again, some people will have these challenges of bullying in schools as they grow up. Maybe some trauma that they even never spoke about. Some kids may go through certain experiences in school, in church, at public places where they've been shut up. Don't talk about this. If you talk about this, even some young people might have been raped before, and they have never been able to tell anyone. So that trauma, that fright is there. So only God knows what this gentleman might have gone through.
True.
Something traumatic, which means that he will rather coil back when it comes to having social discussion with people.
Right.
Another thing is that it can be a disorder. I think since it was established in 1980 that this social phobia is a mental disorder.
Wow.
So since 1980, that thing has been there.
Wow.
So in this part of our world, we don't really take mental health to be something serious.
At all.
So we take it for granted. So probably it is a mental health issue. But Sabi Krumhan once on run home abontained and I just say or more than okay. That might be some of the challenges that might have brought this gentleman to this point. To add this, you see, all these things will give this person a low self-esteem. Will have inferiority complex. And so thinks that, I'm not good enough. And so it's better I'm in my shell than to be out there.
Remember in your submission, you mentioned about school, where he will be bullied or he'll keep quiet. And with regards to that, how can teachers, notice and do something about that child in that corner who they'll probably write on his report card, doesn't talk in class, doesn't answer questions, uninteractive, things like that. How, as a teacher, and since with school growing up, this will probably be his formative years, and this is the time to create the human being that he has to be in the future. Exactly. How can teachers help in that regard, noticing and probably taking action and finding the right way to go about it?
I think, first of all, school authorities should hire the right people.
I agree.
Because of cheap labor, schools hire anybody. So you don't have people who are qualified in these classrooms. So they do not have the training and the ability to even identify that this particular child is a special child, has a peculiarity that we must pay attention to. And I want teachers to self-develop. Now, most of these things are on the internet. You can read, aside reading, you can go to YouTube and watch videos to help you identify such children.
Right.
And these readings and these videos also tell you what to do and how you can help those children. You can't treat all the children in the classroom the same way.
No.
Because they are all different. So you should know how to treat the very quiet ones who seem not to comprehend whatever is happening in the class. They seem to be out of touch. It's like nothing is happening there. You know, I happened to go to a youth camp where there was this young man who, whenever all the people are gathered, he's outside, alone by himself, sitting under a tree. And people come. Also, that crowd, I'm saying, please leave him. Once he's not loitering around, he's just sitting there quietly. I want to know what gentleman is doing. One day I got close to him and realized, as he sat there, everything that was happening around, this guy has taken a sheet of paper, and if you look at the artwork he had done.
Wow.
So these people are sometimes people who have special talents. These reserved, shy kind of people. So we need to identify it, and teachers, by learning, will be able to identify it and help them develop. So I think teachers, as I said, teachers, the school authorities need to be conscious of hiring the right people.
Right.
Give them the requisite training. And the teachers, especially for children between birth and like 6 years before they go to primary 1, should be conscious of themselves by self-training, by reading, going to YouTube, and then learn how to deal with such kids.
Such a person. I completely agree. In the story where he says he can't talk to a lady, he's asked friends, and then the friends end up dating the woman. It's so sad. And he can't even trust his friends anymore. And this is a case where he says he starts stammering when he starts talking to the woman. And they even think he's an idiot. Because imagine a guy approaching you, says hi, all of a sudden he's just, what is wrong with you? So how can this guy, with his work and his car and his apartment, I'm sure there's a woman somewhere who is even seriously crashing on him.
You see that guy?
How can this guy, you know, approach a woman and have the confidence, before he gets to the woman, how can he even have the confidence to start making friends?
You see, Evie, our friend, stammering is one sign of this social phobia we're talking about. One symptom.
Right.
Others can be extreme sweating.
Oh, wow.
When they start talking to people. Others, it's vibrating, kind of shaking. As
oh my goodness.
The whole thing. So, and again, these things, if parents, teachers, and people closer to him were able to identify it earlier, they could have helped him. But at this point, I think he has come to the point of actually, where he has realized that this is his problem. So that's a good thing. That's a first thing to do. Once he has identified his problem, now he has to solve it. He's the only one who can solve his problem. I believe that no one else can solve anyone's problem.
True.
Because if any help will come from outside, it has to begin from you. So he has identified he has a problem. What I think he should do first is to now try to begin from his close quarters.
Okay.
He said the friends he has are friends he made from infancy, childhood.
Yeah, childhood.
So now he has to begin from that circle. Try as much as possible to talk with them, to relate with them in a way where he will express himself more.
Okay.
Because that is, you can only begin from the known to the unknown.
Right.
So once he's in the circle of his friends, his family, people he's comfortable with, then he can develop that skill of talking to these people and building the confidence bit by bit. The next thing he can look at is to try and identify people he shares the same interest with.
Okay.
So once he identifies the people he shares interest with, he can begin conversations with them based on the interest. This gentleman I spoke about, who loves drawing,
Right.
can identify people who also like drawing. And then relate with them, start talking to them through what they do together.
Right.
There was a mate I had way back in St. Paul Methodist. This gentleman, I would say, academically was just bad. He was shy, he wouldn't talk, he was so quiet. I can't mention the name though. But those who went to school with me probably will know who I'm talking about.
Right.
But when this gentleman, on the 10th anniversary of our school, this gentleman did an artwork of the headmistress. And oh my God. It was as if they've taken a photograph of the headmistress in black and white.
Wow.
From that day, no teacher disturbs this boy with mathematics, English, science anymore. This is you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I understand currently he's in Sweden or somewhere in a museum doing an art museum.
Can you imagine?
So if that was not identified, I don't know what would happen.
They would have
to
called
this
him a
gentleman.
useless boy.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
And sometimes when you are even talking to him, honestly, like this story says, he looks like an idiot.
Yeah.
Because he does not make any sense when he's even speaking to you. He finds it difficult opening the mouth to talk. So if he identifies himself with people who also love artwork and do this artwork, they'll be talking about that artwork.
Yeah.
And gradually
come easy to him.
Easier. So now he's moved from his close quarters, his friends and family, now to people who have the same interest. And so now he's been able to relate bit by bit.
Right.
Then now he has to move out. And in moving out, he should tell himself one thing. You see, I am not as bad as everyone thinks, because I've been able to build a rapport with my family, build a rapport with people of the same interest. Why can't I step out? And the mindset that he will be shut down, he should try and let it go. And be ready to speak up for himself. Nobody can speak for you.
True.
He should be ready to speak up for himself. And then when he start doing that, you know, at 35, he's old now.
Yeah.
But at this JHS, SHS level, when these things start happening and teachers and family realize this is what it is, they can also assist this gentleman as he steps out of his comfort zone. So once he's able to step out of the comfort zone, he's good to go.
Right.
One thing he can do is rehearse his lines.
Okay.
It's funny.
That's practical.
But rehearse the lines. Hi, Evie, how are you? I am Oswald.
Right.
I do insurance. At least you respond.
Yes.
So I need to rehearse the lines. If I have to stand in front of a mirror and start talking to myself, do it. To build that confidence.
Right.
If you talk to the musicians, they will tell you. Me, when I was learning how to conduct, I was conducting in the mirror.
Right.
I cannot look at myself, look at how my facial expressions are. And then when I go out there in front of the choir, I try to translate that. So they should rehearse.
True.
Rehearse the lines. It's funny, but it is very, very important.
I completely
Rehearsing
agree
the
with
lines.
you, Oswald. I remember when we were starting Real Talk 4 years ago. I rehearsed in front of the mirror. And it's silly because there's nobody. It's just yourself looking back and you can see yourself say, oh, hi, my name. It's really silly, but it's fun too. You laugh and then you get over it. So imagine if you can do this with yourself looking silly. In your mind,
You're good to
Practice
go.
makes perfect. So when you see
Exactly.
somebody, you can. Okay, we have to go for a quick break. When we come back, I'll read your comments, and then we'll also go further into the discussion with regards to probably a woman that he finds, how her role in his life to help him overcome this shyness even more. Don't go anywhere. This is Real Talk. We'll be right back after the break.
I am an angel of hope.
I'm an angel of hope.
Ubrenio, so do sika a beba boho channel. No so ya sene. Yet me da me asem akọ oman twa so ne ni tworom nyana. Wadaroma fa homan na fa usika fa so bi na onso fa bra. Ne ko kanyamsem enya akra ewu nkwa. Star 928 star 34 star 104 hash. Anase 0249 193083. Hope Channel, yes, it's Sabrabo. Hope Channel, yeah, Gia Cranomqua.
Hello and welcome to Hope Channel, and of course to your favorite program, Watch These Signs.
As long as you are not in that boundary, he will do all kinds of things to protect you so that you continue to move. There are times some things should have happened which should have crushed you to death, but because of the power of God, to give you extra more time so that you can consider the issues of eternity. From plug things
On the farm.
verse 23.
Yes, and that was when when the Pharisees
Pharisees came,
then he
accosted
made
him.
this statement. And that is the same response people give today. That the Sabbath law says, thou shalt not do this, thou shalt not do this, don't touch this, don't go to market, don't. And so people use this text to tell you that even Jesus.
Thank you so much for staying with us. We are back in the studios of Hope TV Ghana here, coming your way with Real Talk. My name is Evie. I started the conversation with Oswald, but the magic of TV, there's another person in the studio, a counselor, a certified counselor. She's been on Real Talk so many times, in studio, on Zoom, any other medium that you know of. And today she's here in the studios. You know, life, Accra life, traffic, work, parenting is busy, but I'm glad she's made it, and she's going to give us her professional opinion when it comes to extreme shyness. Before I get to her, I want to read some of her comments so that I'll give her time to relax, breathing before I come to her. Oswald has done majority of the talking and has given us very meaningful insights. So next will be Counselor Perfect, Mrs. Ojo Bakope. I'll come to her shortly. Jack Bella says, you don't need a whole poem to be friends with a lady. Just say hi and introduce yourself. All you need now is to start a simple friendship. Probably you are not comfortable around these ladies, and that may be your problem. I don't think saying hi and your name to someone is that difficult. If so, then start from your church fellowship group. You belong to the church fellowship group you belong to. Bear in mind you are starting a friendship, not a relationship. You need to be free around a lady before anything else can happen. Okay, this is a very serious name. It says, okay, I won't even attempt. It says, kindly hit my DM. I'll give you format and tactics, okay? All the best, dear. Sending hacks. No, it says, speak to a professional and read books about confidence and self-esteem ASAP. Amilinda says, Hope TV Ghana, this really saddened me. However, he needs assistance. I am willing to offer help through therapy or networking to help him. Kindly get in touch. if necessary. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ami, for offering your services. We will get in touch when we have a need to. Kofi 10 says, my brother, you must master over your challenge to get a wife, or you will struggle to man a home or family if you are able to get married. Pray and seek God to empower your ability now. I pray for you. Okay. Nana Joa says, the comment I am looking for is here. I want him to be my friend if he doesn't mind. Can see a lot of people saying, come and be my friend, come and be my friend. Hopefully they are all good intended. So, Counselor, Perfect, how are you?
By God's grace, I'm good.
Oh, thank God. It's been a while, though.
Yes.
You're looking, actually, they're evergreen. The same beautiful, young looking, always. Welcome.
Thank you. You don't want me to say
No,
it, so I'm...
no, I've started before you. I can see where you are going. But how has life been? The family, the kids.
Yeah. It's stressful, but it's a blessing, so we handle it as it comes.
You handle it as it comes. I'm good you finally made it. But the story, extreme shyness. What causes this? Oswald has shared a very extensive opinion with us, mentioning it could stem from parenting style as a child. It could be a psychological problem, you know, and how probably he's been told to keep quiet. He's been confused as a child. Today he does this, they applaud. Tomorrow they don't applaud. So confusion, and also parents who are not present with regards to talking with their children and all. But what are some of the causes of this disorder, if I should put it?
Thank you. And you see, shyness is not a psychological disorder. So it's not part of any mental health issues that is major, but we consider it to be part of serious other things can bring about that. So 35 years and he's still shy, he can't even approach ladies. And from childhood, you could see that still it was there. The mother was even thinking he can't speak, so it took a while before he's speaking and all that. You realize that some people, as Oswald said, we have the attachment style. So growing up, maybe the parents were not that present. We have the avoidance. We have the 4 basic types. So if you are not that much into your child's life, or your emotions are not stable, today you are happy, today you are that, they kind of shrink in. So they don't show emotions that much. They want to be alone. They don't want to mingle a lot. So it can cause the child to be shy, growing up and all that. Then we have, when it comes to the 4 basic temperaments, we know that we have the extrovert, we have the introvert, we have the phlegmatic, we have the melancholic. So when you talk about that aspect, you realize that for the introvert being the melancholic and the phlegmatic, you realize that they have the inward looking as parts of their temperament. So they are mostly not that outward as the choleric and the sanguine people will be. So if his temperament is the major factor, is that you could see that he will be much more indoors, and compare with parents who were not maybe in the life and emotionally not stable, and he knowing they kind of calculate their feelings. Today they are overly around you, and the next they are avoiding you and all that. So it's quite confusing for the child. So having a child who is in the introverts temperament region will find it difficult to adjust when they grow. And we have the social anxiety that you mentioned in the question. You see that we have certain things culturally when you are growing up. It kind of puts you in a box, like how to behave, the gender roles and all that. And sometimes because of even where you are coming from, your psychological, your economic background and all that, you are not even that fully to express yourself. Those who are quite shy, when they find themselves with people who are DBs and the rest, they kind of called in. So it's not their temperament, but because of the situation they are in, they can't speak the language they are speaking, the food and whatever they are expressing. So they kind of but they are not so they grow to be that type. So he needs to make a conscious effort to first of all know himself. So maybe it took you a while to speak, but you are not so that shy. You can mingle with other sexes. But when it comes to female, you are having a challenge. So what happened in your childhood that is causing you to kind of shy away from females? People are thinking he's gay. But you see, that is one issue I have. We should not be quick to tag people. If somebody walks like a female, want to always mingle with female, kind of dressing, and sometimes they want to apply the nail polish, don't tag anybody. Because when you tag them, it's kind of prove them to kind of, this is what people are saying, you force them to be what they are not.
Right.
So allow people to be who they are. They can be girlish and tomboy and all that, but they are not gay. Right. So this guy is not gay, but he's rather shy. So growing up, one advice to parents is, if you realize that your child is quite shy, you should talk more with the child. You see, child, they learn by what we say. So have more conversation with the child. Try to mingle. You can call people for them to have a conversation. You bring people. So you see, it's best to let people come to your home to meet your child, to play, where you can supervise, than allowing your child to go out. So rather invite them to come in, and you'll be monitoring their activities, so that if you see that your child is that kind of inward looking, they are not so sociable, you help to break that. And mostly, you see, if we're parents, sometimes we lobby. Even 12 Sabbath, you lobby. I want my child to say this. You sometimes even teach them the memory verses, Psalm 23, so that they will go and speak. So it's all form of you introducing them to public speaking and mingling and all that. They're having drama. You want your child to also play a role. It's part. So as a parent, know your child and use those avenues you have in the church and the school to groom your child. Because as a parent, one major role you have is nurturing your child, and you grooming them to fit in society is best. But now you see that he's not having that major psychological challenge, but a bit of all what I talked about. So it's not too late for him. He can still work on it. But if you ask me, I would say that he should start to become friends with them. You can't just say that I love them, so you want to propose. That would be difficult. And if they bounce you, it become worse. So start being friends with them. Have a lot of people you are friends with. You can start with a small unit. There's about school units. You see, the Sabbath school is such that if you always contribute, you always say your whatever you understand, you learn it to also contribute. You get other ladies too who are kind of also, they are smart, they also want to talk. So the more you contribute, they are talking, you are also talking, you start to grow the friendship from there. You sit together in the church, you share a hymnal, oh, how are you? You start with a question. You see, it's easy to break a barrier with a smile. So you see them, you just smile. You are shy, you can't. So just keep on smiling. And one day you can talk to them. Ah, you look like a friend I know. What is your name? It's just about, they'll mention the name. So next time you smile, oh, Evie, how are you? You are starting. You can't, it's from one, then you continue. But don't go like you want to propose, you are in love and all that. That is a no-no. Start as a friend. And if you are friends with them, it breaks the ice, you become more comfortable. And when the love develops, it's easy. Sometimes the lady even will make it easy for you. Say, hey, now what do you want cash? Then so what can you
It's funny she said that. I mean, before Oswald was talking about rehearsing in front of the mirror and then getting your points across. And before we went on the break off air, the guys were saying sometimes you rehearse, but when you see the woman and her beauty, then everything is gone. In that situation, how do you, break through the ice, get yourself together and talk? Because he says sometimes you'll be stammering and they think, I think he's an idiot. So how does he practically overcome the struggle? When he sees the beauty and he's shaking. Also, even mentioned some points about how they can be sweating.
Really?
And, because they are so anxious to talk. So in that case, how would they overcome the struggle and let the lady know that, oh, hi, my name is this, and what is your name? Even that common one. And nobody wants to waste time and listen to what is that?
You see, I tell my guys that what you think of the woman is not who they are.
Like how?
Like they are not people you can approach. Hey, wait there, baby, I will do no. I am on flow as I can. That is there because sometimes people look at their background, where they are coming from. Hey, Bikrobana, we shouldn't go crazy.
But we're polishing.
You do not know the person's background. So, as Perfect was saying, make friends. You take advantage of all the small groupings in the church. Be part of the activities. You say hello to someone. Gradually, it comes. Then, you should know that even when you decide to tell them I love you, you see, think of the worst. The worst is for them to say no.
No.
It doesn't kill.
Yeah.
It doesn't kill. Do you know why a lot of women tend to like the seemingly bad boys?
Tell me today.
True or false?
I will. Obibe say, I plead the fifth.
They are confident.
Yes.
True.
And you see, naturally, women don't want people who are not too confident. So go, master the courage. Okanoa is not the end of the world. It doesn't kill. Do you know how many times people have been bound before they ended up on the altar with another woman? You have no idea. So, but again, the truth is that you need to start from a point.
Yeah.
If you don't begin from the small units, you have a problem. And the number for foreigners who come from, and yet they should stop.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because you see, you are helping this friend overcome a challenge.
Yeah.
The more you keep on doing that, the person's inferiority complex increases.
Yeah.
Because it feels like, so what didn't I do right? That this probably Nipakro to me for a girl. What you my papa saying?
Like you say, I'm handsome.
Yeah. You have a car.
I have an apartment.
But for
an
the
apartment.
handsome, it's up to the ladies to judge.
Yes, but I think the friends don't even go.
self-belief.
The friends don't even go and tell the lady anything about him.
No,
They go for themselves.
Of
They don't
course.
even mention him in any way.
My cousin, I have a cousin, I'm mentioning him. Those who know him, they know him. A friend told him to go and tell a woman that he loves her. Yeah. Onudo Kokai. Sana, the woman rather likes my cousin.
Oh.
Cousin say, now who they all come on when you. So this gentleman too
You
should
have to
stop
fight
sending
your own
people.
fight.
Yeah.
Stop sending people. As I said, rehearse your lines. Begin from your close unit, the known to the unknown.
Right.
Build that confidence. Emano omonya kakai.
True.
Build friendship first. And it's even nice when it develops from acquaintance to friendship and you end up in a relationship.
True.
It comes naturally. Sometimes you don't even tell the person,
Yeah.
I want to be in a relationship with you. It comes like that.
People even start tagging the two of you as couples.
Right.
So before you realize, so as the question was saying, you see, the first is just smile. He should smile. He should be confident. As he's saying, he's handsome, he's working, he's having his car, which most ladies want, apartment and everything. So he's in the bracket that it's ladies a marriageable material be that.
Yes.
So why are you being, you understand?
Yeah.
So he should smile when you go to church, smile and greet. You see, if you give a firm greeting to a lady, just the contact of the hands, sometimes you just turn back. And the perfume that he used,
Okay.
it counts.
Okay.
Oh, if you don't
It's
know.
true. I'm a sucker for good sense.
Yes. So go for a nice one that will attract them. You see, sometimes when they hug, they want to be there for a long time.
Can I
Just
ask a
to,
question?
Oswald, what are you coming to
No,
ask?
how do you know the perfume that will attract a woman?
It's
Oh.
just the fragrance.
yes.
How would I know this fragrance will attract you? Or
Oh,
her?
but there are some perfumes that you know. There
I
are some
don't know.
you do.
You-
There are perfumes
yeah.
that men use where
Yes.
immediately you smell it.
The
go like,
masculine one. You see, we have
You-
the wood
you
type.
do.
We
The
have the
wood.
wood type.
The
We
wood
have
is
the
a
like
nice
that one who smells like after wash. You are just coming.
have
Yes,
the wood.
smells fresh.
Yes,
Yeah.
they will tell
Yeah,
you.
smells
Do you have the
fresh.
cement type?
No.
Oh no.
Since you have wood, I thought maybe.
And men are attracted to the petal ones,
The,
the
flowery
fruits and
one
all that.
and those type, like feminine.
Yes. So
Yeah.
we also have that masculine. So you just invest more in that area.
I concur.
Your
Perfect.
dressing and all that, the African wear and all that. sometimes your dressing also kind of attracts ladies to you.
Very true.
So the dressing, smile, and to be confident. Sometimes you don't even say a word. The ladies will come themselves. If you dress well and you go to church, you are not even like that much talking type, and you just smile and you are there. You see, they'll be coming around. They'll stand and sit by you. Next time, you realize you have a particular lady who always sit by you, who always sharing a hymn book with you. That is the connection. So start from there. If you can't say the word, use whatever you have to attract them.
Right.
And go to my ministry meetings. Because a man will connect you, Cecilia. Because our ladies are there. Our young ladies, we know the ones who can match you.
Perfect as a campaign.
Guys, I hope you are listening.
So you see, talking to your guys to talk to the ladies is wrong. Tell the women ministries leader.
absolutely.
They will work it for you. If the lady says she won't cry, they will. How they will work it? And because you want to attend the wedding, sometimes you just want to dress. Our dresses are still in the closet, so they'll do the matching for you and send you to Family Life Ministry for them to counsel you. And before you realize, so yes, the department in the church that we have department that can help. Even Home and Family Life is there. If you are close to most of them and you, this is my challenge, and they help with those things because they have ladies who also they are trying to matchmake and all that. So the church is having institution that helps with the family and marriage. So don't rely on your friends who are disappointing you. Do the small things, and when you smile and you see them, just ask a question. You see, when I ask a question, I keep on asking, you'll be saying more. So don't put the attention on yourself, rather put it on the ladies. Now, what is your name? Oh, I like your name. Maybe it's not even your mother's name. Oh, my auntie is even called Evie. So they start smiling. You know, ladies, we like that. Even the auntie is called Evie. You understand? So
She's in the family already.
Already. Then you start. So just have something catch you. So as he was saying, you see, women like ladies who are confident and having a sense of humor, because we like to laugh and all that. So if we are too straight, like you don't have any sense of humor, they kind of shy away from you. So just be confident, let your body exude them to draw them to you, and you can have a sense of humor. Use the questions more. So put the question on them. Since you can't talk about yourself, let them talk. And ladies, you like to talk.
True.
So, what school did you attend? They'll be saying it before you realize you are now friends.
True.
The second day they see you in church, they'll rather be coming close with their friend.
That's true.
And
that's true. And the question of how can, so let's say he finds a woman probably who has become a friend, and if she's interested, how can the woman he finds or the woman in his life help him also overcome this disorder, if I should say, this shyness? How can she play that role for him so that her husband in future will become the confidence man that she wants, you know?
But Evie, you know that mostly how the Lord arranged the marriages, we both is the opposite and the negative that attracts.
True.
Because my husband was the quiet type, but now sometimes he can talk. I say, "Hey,"
you even talk more than me.
It's like you're overtaking me,
right? Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
So if you, in his selection, you should select somebody who is a bit outspoken, a bit loud, so that it will help him to talk. If you go for somebody who is shy, it means your home is also going to affect your children. You are going to have just a quiet, nobody to talk. We don't want to do this. But if you have a lady who is extrovert, you realize that she'll be talking more. She'll be asking you a lot of questions. She's having stories to tell you. She'll be pulling you even in public. Come and snap picture for me. Do this, my selfie and all that. So before you realize, she has involved you in the circle, and you have also started to come out. So go for somebody that is extrovert, somebody who can express themselves so that you learn from them. You see, marriage shaping us. It grooms us. We tend to suit the other person. The other person also suits us. So what you are not, you learn from them. True. They also learn certain things from you. Then you kind of bridge that gap. So don't go for somebody who is shy as you, but somebody who is a bit outward, so that it can shape. It helps.
Yeah, it can balance. Oswald.
Okay, so the lady has a lot of work to do, but the fundamental thing is that don't try to make the gentleman who he's not.
Okay.
Look for his strength and let him build on that strength. Let him become very good in that particular thing. and that will bring the confidence out of him. So help him become the best in what he is good at.
Okay.
And once he sees himself to be the best at this thing, and society recognizes that when it comes to this, we need to go to this gentleman, that alone gives him confidence. It gives him confidence. And you see, do not compare him with any other person. If you want to compare him with your ex-boyfriends and the rest, you have issues. Or you want to compare him with the husbands of your other friends, you have issues. So, whatever he's very good at, let him know he's the best in that field. And once the society sees him like that, the other things will come in. And he'll be confident enough, because we know that in this area, everybody will come to consult him. Then you see, the other thing is that in public, do not allow anyone to talk your husband down. Let them say anything they want to say, but don't allow them. You understand? Because if you know your husband is a quiet guy.
Yeah.
So if you allow them, people, to talk him down in public, it becomes a problem. And you yourself, don't do it. Don't do it. And sometimes your body language and things in public counts. Let your body language give your husband that confidence. That also be. You understand? And I think it brings the confidence up. Earlier on, Perfect was talking about dressing well, smelling good. Now it becomes a responsibility of the lady. Make sure he dresses well. Make sure he's smelling good as you want it. If you don't do that part well, then you can't blame him. Probably from his upbringing, he doesn't think of that. And guys, take it serious. It's from the lady's own mouth. You don't smell good, they don't get close to you. You repel them. That's the truth. So we need to work on that. And you see, as we were talking about perfumes and the rest, it's not the expensive ones.
No.
And it's not those other ones too. You know those other ones I'm talking about. Where as soon as as soon as you sweat, it turns into something else more than a cologne.
Take a whole year.
So, and the rest, maybe the guys when we meet, we can talk about it. Yeah, you know. Some of them, maybe we can't talk about it on there. When we're in the corner, we'll
I was like, your final words for this guy.
You see, the church also is having a role to play.
Okay.
So when nomination starts, and you can even give yourself up for certain position, like Sabbath school. You see, as you are quiet and all that, it can be helping that department. So when it helps you to interact with some of the people in the church. So don't just come to church and warm the pews, but rather get involved. You can go to the choir, the singing groups. You see, because it's close and they are more interesting. You go to the choir, it's like we are all together. You get it. So maybe you don't have that voice, but just go.
Hey,
no, some of us, I'm a choir.
You ever pay your mom? What do you say? No,
so we are there, we'll come. We are part. So we don't sing loud. Yes,
quietly.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, we have people apart, but they don't sing.
Yeah.
They contribute and everything. They just
Oh, that's
so I have
nice.
people sing and people are at the background.
Okay.
We come to practice and everything, but
That's
we don't.
nice.
Yes, so
We
you
are
can
funny.
join and do that. And if you want to have a partner, go for a partner. As I said earlier, who is extrovert, who is not introvert, so that it can balance your children. So think about your children too, can balance them. And if you happen to be a wife or a sister or a mother of this person, you need to help them. Get closer to them. You see, sometimes they are living in their mind. They are having their conversations themselves. They talk to themselves. They are living in their mind. But they need to talk to somebody. And you realize that most of these people, if you have one-on-one talk with them, they talk a lot. They have a lot to say. But if they're in a group, they are quiet.
Right.
So rather try to have that one-on-one time with them. Don't say they are shy, so you neglect them for those who are very outgoing. But rather have time for them. If for a mother, check on them from time to time. Because they are quiet, they are prone to mental health issues. Because they harbor everything inward. They don't express it. When they are heartbroken, they don't see it. They just harbor everything. So it's not like those who talk babble a lot, so they are able to offload. So get close to such people. Don't neglect them. And as a church, as I said earlier, we should be each other's keeper. So if somebody is interested in somebody and they inform you, be a betweener, and what come fast, stop that. Stop it. For the love of Christ. Don't do that. So my Jordan, my son was 10 last week. So
Last week when?
Thursday.
That was my birthday.
Really?
11th May, no?
Yes.
Goodness, that's my birthday.
So, then you have the same
Yes,
birthday.
we do.
He says I should wish more else. So, Jordan, happy birthday, Jordan Odro Frichi.
Happy
And-
birthday, Jordan. You have the
Yeah.
same birthday with Auntie Evie.
Yeah. And Sewa, my last daughter will be 5 Friday.
Oh.
Yeah. So, Sewa
Young babies.
Ohima Odro. Yes.
Yay.
Happy birthday to you. And Jude, it's not yet your birthday, but still, if I don't wish you, you don't understand. So, Jude, happy birthday to you in advance. Eh? I love you all.
Happy birthday, Jude, in advance. Oh, that's nice. Also, any birthday message or Thanksgiving message you want to give?
Birthdays.
And my husband,
Mm.
Mr. Odro Ajikum, Papa Ajikum.
Hey.
This is how you build a confidence.
I can't raise the children without a
Well.
father. It's
At
the father
all.
who made it possible.
Also,
Okay.
the wife.
Definitely, I have to say hello to my wife, Constance. You know how much I love you. So,
Aw.
thank you for everything you do for us. And my 2 boys, I'm coming home soon. I know you miss me. I'll be home soon. I love them, Oswald and Othniel.
Oh,
Those
I
are my
see.
boys.
Also, Junior.
Yes. What I would want to, and again, my church members, Gulf City SDA Church, the Cathedral guys, I love you guys too. A shout out to all of you.
Great.
What I want to say is that this did not start today. It started from a point unnoticed and it's got to this bad. So, as Perfect said, let us all be each other's keeper.
Yeah.
From the home to the school to the church and our society. Let us not create these kind of people. It doesn't help them, it doesn't help us. We will miss what they can do for the society, and they will also miss what they can gain from all of us. So every person who comes into this world would have to benefit from society, and society would have to benefit from them.
True.
But when they become too inward looking, too shy to get out there, then it becomes a problem. One major thing is that let us not talk people down, especially young, very little children. You destroy their confidence. And to bring it up again is very, very difficult. And guys who have these issues, talk to other people. You can seek professional help as well. But all I can tell you is that you can have a better self-esteem, improve your self-confidence, and know that whoever you want to talk to, you can talk to that person. You can talk to that person. Thank you.
All right. Thank you guys so much. I couldn't have done this without Oswald and Counselor Perfect. It's been a good discussion. If you want extra help and you want to get in touch with Counselor Perfect, she'll make time to talk to you. She has a foundation. She has a whole network that helps with these things. And not just this, any other issues that you may be facing, any other psychological problems that you may be facing. And trust me, she's great at what she does. And if you also want to talk to someone more in the church, more, with the youth, that would be Oswald, because he's very passionate with the youth. And if you're, especially if you're a man, a young man, he can help you. So just let me know, and then you can reach out to them or they will reach out to you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Before we go, I'd like to remind you that you can also be an angel of hope by dialing *928*34*104# and follow the prompt. You can also send your donation to Hope Channel at 0249193083. Thank you so much. We'll be back same time next week with another interesting story on Real Talk. Enjoy the rest of the content on Hope TV. My name is Evie, and please do enjoy the rest of your day.